ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। कल्याण सुंदर रामा कारुण्य जानकी रामा कल्याण सुंदर रामा कारुण्य जानकी रामा पीतांबरधर रामा भयभीति विभञ्जन रामा पीतांबरधर रामा भयभीति विभञ्जन रामा दशावतारा रामा दशमुखमर्दन रामा दशावतारा रामा दशमुखमर्दन रामा भक्त सुधामा रामा भक्त प्रियंकर रामा भक्त सुधामा रामा भक्त प्रियंकर रामा कारुण्य जानकी रामा कल्याण सुंदर रामा कारुण्य जानकी रामा पीतांबरधर रामा भयभीति विभञ्जन Namo Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Humble prostration, stone and all present here. So yesterday we had seen in the Ravana's court, everyone was flattering Ravana, not telling the truth, saying that there is nothing to worry. Rama's armies, they are on the other shore, but we have nothing to worry because they are mere monkeys and human beings. We Rakshasas are much powerful than them, so there is nothing to worry. But actually, everyone was scared inside because one monkey could do so much of havoc, but no one had the courage to speak in front of Ravana. So that was a time when Vibhishana enters the court. He bows down to Ravana, sits down. He was asked, "What is your opinion?" So Vibhishana speaks the truth. "O king, O elder brother, there is some mistake from our part. Any person who yields to kama, krodha, lobha, moha, etc., they are actually marching towards hell. Auspicious can never happen to a person who is walking the path of unrighteousness, who is yielding to negative emotions. So therefore, dear elder brother, for your own welfare and well-being, and for the welfare and well-being of the demon race, what I sincerely feel is, you must return Sita ji back, bow down to Rama, because he is not an ordinary human being. He is Lord himself, that supreme Brahman, that imperishable Satchit Ananda Swarupa, that supreme Lord himself has taken a human form and he has come to this earth to protect the virtuous and to punish the wicked. So it is the avatara of the Lord. So what is the difference between Janma of a Jiva and Avatara of Ishvara? What is the difference? So there are three differences. What are they? Number one, Karana Bheda, difference with respect to cause. Number two, Swarupa Bheda, difference with respect to the nature. And number three, Uddesha Bheda, difference with respect to purpose. So though the birth of a Jiva and avatara of Ishvara, they may appear to be the same, but there is a huge difference. So the first one is, what is the first one? Karana Bheda, difference with respect to cause. So why are we born? What is the cause? Ajnana is the cause. Ignorance is the cause. We don't know our true nature. So therefore we are born. So we are born out of ignorance. What about Bhagavan? Is he born out of ignorance? No. He is born out of knowledge. So therefore, because there is knowledge involved, he decides where to be born, to whom to be born, in which body to be born, how long to exist, when to put an end to this incarnation. Everything he decides. So therefore, while we fall into samsara, Bhagavan's coming into samsara is not fall, it is a deliberate, conscious descendance. It is something like falling into well and getting down into well. There is a difference or not? In fall there is helplessness. In getting down, it is a conscious, deliberate action. So this is with respect to Karana, cause. The second is Swarupa Bheda, difference with respect to the nature. What is the nature of a Jiva? Alpajnaha, Alpashaktiman, Alpavyapi. I hope you understand all this. Alpajna means what? Very less knowledge. Alpajna. Alpashaktiman. Very less, little power, little strength. That little also is not there actually. We assume for the time being. Alpajna, Alpashaktiman, Alpavyapi. Size is also small. And Maya Dasa is a slave of Maya. We have no choice at all. Wherever we are born, we are born. In whatever form we are born, we have no choice. To which parents we should be born, we have no choice. Maya Dasa. Maya Dasa also means we are a slave of all these weaknesses. Kama, Krodha, etc. That is a proof. So, this is the nature of Jiva. What about Bhagavan? He is not Alpajna, he is Sarvajna, omniscient. He is not Alpashaktiman, he is Sarvashaktiman, all powerful. He is not Alpavyapi, he is Sarvavyapi. Though he may take a small form and come, but actually he is infinite. He is not Maya Dasa, he is Mayapati, the Lord. Ajopi sannam vyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Ajapi, I am unborn. Avyatma, I am imperishable. Bhutanam Ishvara, I am the Lord. Prakritim swam adhishtaya, keeping my prakriti under my control. Sambhavami, I manifest. Atma Mayaya, by my own Maya. The is Uddesha Veda. What is the purpose? What is the purpose for which we come to this world? Number one, to fulfill our unfulfilled desires of the past. So at the time of death, whatever desires we have, at the time of death, that dying thought, those thoughts determine the next birth of this person. And the dying thought is always associated with the desires. So why are we born? Number one, to fulfill the unfulfilled desires. Number two, to exhaust our vasanas. Number three, to evolve spiritually. We are all in a journey. Birth after birth, we are traveling. We are all travelers. So for any traveler, there has to be a destination. So where are we traveling? Towards what destination are we traveling? Asatoma Sadgamaya. We are traveling from Asat to Sat. Unreal to real. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. We are traveling from darkness to light. Ignorance to knowledge. Mrityorma Amritangamaya. We are traveling from mortality to immortality. We are all travelers, traveling from imperfection to perfection. Finitude to infinity. Darkness to light. From the lower self to the higher self. From illusion to reality. These are all different names. So we are all travelers. So the purpose of life is to evolve. And the world is designed to help all of us evolve. We are all evolving from tamas to rajas to sattva to gunadita. This is the way. Nobody has any choice. Just like the baby in the womb has no choice. By the time 9 months are over, that child is pushed out of the womb. The child is not asked permission. In the same way, this world is a womb. It is designed to push us out of this world. It is designed to liberate us. Yes, it may take so many births, that's fine. But it is designed that way. Okay, so there is a purpose in life. As far as Bhagavan's avatar is concerned, what is the purpose? Is he coming to fulfill his unfulfilled desire? No. Is he coming to evolve? No. Is he coming to exhaust his vasanas? No. Then why is he coming? He is coming out of karuna, compassion. He is coming to establish righteousness, to protect the virtuous, to punish the wicked. It is all out of compassion. Compassion for the suffering jivatmas. Right. So Vibhishana said, "Oh dear brother, oh king, don't consider him as an ordinary human being. He is Sakshat Bhagavan himself. So therefore, my sincere request to you is bow down to him. And he is a Bhagavan who is an embodiment of love, unconditional infinite love. He will forgive all your sins. He will accept you unconditionally. So therefore, this is the best thing you have to do. In fact, this is not my suggestion. Our own grandfather, who is our grandfather? Ulasthi Rishi. Ulasthi Rishi. Ulasthi Rishi himself has sent this message through his disciple. So this right occasion, I am just sent it to you. So at that time what happened? Malyavant was sitting there. Who is Malyavant? Ravana. So Malyavan stood up and said, see, whatever Vibhishana is saying, he is an embodiment of wisdom. This Vibhishana is Niti Vibhushana, is an ornament of wisdom. So therefore, O king, whatever he says, this has to be done. And at that time, Ravana gets irritated. Who is there? These two fellows, send them out, kick them out, throw them out. He was absolutely not in a mood to listen. Mahalyavan just stood up and left the court. But Vibhishana continued. That shows how much Vibhishana loved and cared for Ravana. He said, oh dear brother, Sumati and Kumati, good and bad, it is there in every one of us. Those people who nurture goodness, good thoughts in them, the prosperity is for them, all auspiciousness come to them. But those people who yield to the negative urges, baser urges in them, then they attract all calamities towards them. So therefore, dear brother, if at all you love me, you care for me, if at all you have little love and affection for me, I plead to you, please return Sita back and surrender unto Bhagavan. Now what does Ravana do? Let us see. Buddha Purana Shruti Sammat Bani Kahi Vibhishana Niti Bakhani Sunat Dasanana Uthari Sai Khalatoi Nikat Mrityu Ab Ai. Though the words of Vibhishana was full of wisdom from the Vedas and the Puranas and the scriptures, but then did Ravana listen to it? No, he became extremely angry. He shouted at Vibhishana, "O wicked fellow, your death has come near you. Jiyasi sada sat mor jiyava ripukara pacha mood toi bhava." How dare you eat my food? You are surviving on my food and you are praising my enemy. You are taking side of my enemy. Kahasina khal as ko jagmahi bhujavala jahi jita mein nahi. You are saying that tapasvi, this Ravana never uses the term Rama. Okay? He will never chant Rama. He will always call Bhagavan as tapasvi, ascetic. That ascetic, you think he is stronger? Tell me one person in the world whom I have not conquered. I am the conqueror of the three worlds. So therefore, definitely I am stronger than him. And you are praising him. Mama Purabasi Tapasena Barapriti. You are staying in my city, my kingdom, and you have love and affection for him, for that ascetic. So then do one thing. Get out from here. Go and join him, and all your words of wisdom, you give it to him. And saying so, Asakahi keen he charan prahara, he went and kicked Vibhishana. And what was Vibhishana's response? Ravana kicks Vibhishana out of anger. Anujagahe patavarahi bhara. But Vibhishana was again holding on to the feet of Ravana. Now, the whole Tulsi Ramana is narrated by Lord Shiva to Parvati. So at this moment, Lord Shiva makes a comment. What does he say? Uma sant kai ihai badai mand karat jo karai bhalai. O Uma, O Parvati, this is a sign of a saintly person, of a sadhu, of a virtuous person. What is that? What is the characteristic of a saintly person? He returns good for evil. This is a characteristic. Others are doing bad to him, but what is he doing? Is he retaliating, taking revenge, tit for tat? No. He is only doing good in return. So this is the test of saintliness of a person. So now we have to use this measuring rod to measure ourselves. How good are we? When others are bad to us, when others are abusing us, criticizing us, finding fault with us, what is our attitude towards them? Subjectively, you think of. See, doing good to a person who is doing good to you, that's very easy. Nothing great. Even animals do it. The true saintliness is this. Somebody is doing bad. You have no ill intention or what you call that, ill feeling towards them. You are doing good. So then Shiva says, this is the test. And we can see that saintliness in Vibhishana. And what did Vibhishana do? He held on to the feet of Ravana and said, Tuma pitu sarisa balai mohimara. Oh dear brother, you have all the right to beat me, to kick me, because you are a fatherly figure for me. And when you beat me, it will only be made for my good. Just like parents beating the children. It is only for the good of children. In the same way, your beating also is a blessing for me. But even then, oh dear brother, Ramu bhaje itanath tumara. Your welfare and well-being is only in worshipping Bhagavan Ramchandraji. Now, Ravana has said, get out. So now Vibhishana gets up. There were some of his ministers who were supporting Vibhishana. They also joined him. So now they are planning to leave Lanka. So at that time, what does Vibhishana say? Ram Satya Sankalpa Prabhu Sabha Kal Basatori Main Raghubir Saran Ab जाऊं देहु जनि खोए. Dear brother, O king, Ram Satya Sankalpa Prabhu. Rama is a Satya Sankalpa Prabhu. Whatever Sankalpa he has taken, it will happen. Whatever he has decided, it will come to pass. Nothing can stop him. He is the Lord. So when you have decided to go against him, so therefore, Kala Vasha, your Sabha is doomed to destruction. I have to tell you this. I am going to surrender unto Bhagavan. Seek refuge in him. Now, later, don't blame me. There is one criticism against Vibhishana. What is the criticism? That he has cheated his brother, took side of his enemy, and defeated Ravana. But actually, when you see this, you will find that no. So when you say that a person is cheating, in front you speak something and then you backstab. In front you speak sweetly and then from the behind you stab that person, tell ill about that person. Yes, then that is not right. But here very clearly, Vibhishana tries his level best to correct Ravana, reform Ravana, correct him, bring him on the right path. But Ravana was not willing. And now Vibhishana is going. So therefore, we can never blame Vibhishana of, what do you call that? What is the term? I forgot in English.
Treason.
Treason. Yes. Okay. So Vibhishana can never be blamed. So when you scriptures properly, only then you will understand. And now Vibhishana is, no, they were Rakshasas, demons, they had the power to fly. So now Vibhishana is crossing the sea along with those ministers. So as he was going, so it is said here, the moment Vibhishana left Lanka, all auspiciousness of Lanka came to an end. All glory, all auspiciousness, whatever little good was there, everything came to an end. All their lifespan was sealed. Because this one man was actually, protecting Lanka. There's a very beautiful story I heard long back. The Japanese story. So there were these 10 people, I think some farmers or somebody. So there was an intense storm and rain and lightning, thunder. And there was a small shed and all the 10 people were standing there inside. Because they could not go anywhere because it was a plain open land. So all of them were. So then out of that, these 10 people, the elderly person said, gods are angry with us. That is why this storm, this rain, lightning, intense. Gods are angry with us because one among us, we have sinned. We are a sinner. Now the question is, who is that sinner? We will have to find out. So we will all do one thing. We will remove our hat and extend it outward, outside that shed. Next, lightning when it falls, whichever hand it strikes, that is the person who is a sinner. So then he was an elderly person, so others just obeyed. They removed their hand, extended all the 10 people, and then came a lightning, and it struck one person's hand. So immediately all the 9 said, you are the sinner. It is because of you that gods are angry. Therefore you get out. You don't have the right to stand under that shed. That person said, oh please don't do that. I am the only breadwinner. I have my wife, my children, the elderly parents are there. I am the only one who is working. If I die, all of them will starve to death. There is nothing doing. You have to get out. So all the 9, they pushed this person out. It was heavily raining, so this man, he ran. There was some far away, some tree. He just went under that tree and stood. Then comes a huge lightning, and all the 9, it struck directly on that shed, and all the 9 were dead. And then in the end of the story, it is written, it was this person who was saving all the 9. Because all the 9 were sinners. It was this one good person who was saving them. The moment he went out. So in the same way, the moment Vibhishana left Ravana, all the auspiciousness also left Lanka. Okay. Now what happened? Now Vibhishana is going to meet Bhagavan. So he is traveling now, along with some of his ministers. Now what are the thoughts of Vibhishana? That is narrated here. देखियो जाय चरण जल जात अरुण मृदुल सेवक सुखदाता जे पद परसि तरी रसि नारी दंडक कानन पावन कारी. So now Vibhishana is imagining, oh my God, I am going to see Bhagavan now, that avatar of the Lord, that Lord. I am going going to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Those lotus feet whom the devotees, for the devotees, those lotus feet are the joy givers. Those lotus feet which touched Rishinari and saved her from all sins. Who is that Rishinari? Ahalya. Rishi Gautama's wife was cursed to become a stone. So those lotus feet who relieved Rishinari from curse, those lotus feet that wandered in Dandaka forest, Dandakaranya, I am going to see those lotus feet. Jay Pad Janaka Suta Urulai, those lotus feet which Sita Mata carries in her heart, meditates in her heart. Kapata Kuranga Sangadharadhai, those lotus feet which ran behind that golden deer. Harapura Sara Saroj Padaji. If Lord Shiva's heart is lake Manasarovar, then these two lotus feet of Bhagavan, they are like two lotuses in that lake of the heart of Lord Shiva. See how beautifully they are silently giving the message that all Bhagavan, they are all one. Don't fight in the name of God. In India, there is this Vaishnavites and Shaivites, they are dead against each other, trying to prove that my God is superior to yours. So how beautifully they are adding all this. So it is said that Lord Shiva always meditates upon the lotus feet of Bhagavan Ramchandraji. Those lotus feet I am going to see. Aho bhagya mein dekhiye hote. What a great blessing. How fortunate I am. Those lotus feet whose padukas are worshipped by Bharata, I am going to see those lotus feet. In this way, his mind was, he was highly excited because he was going to see Bhagavan. And finally, they reached the other shore. And what happened? Ehi piti karat saprema vichara ayo sabadi sindhu ehi para. In this way, his thoughts were running, and finally he reached the other shore along with other ministers. Then what happened? Kapina Vibhishana avat dekha jana ko ribudut vishesha. So they all saw on the other shore, monkeys were there. They saw that these people are coming. Who are coming? They don't know. So immediately they surrounded. So once they landed, all of them surrounded these people, Krishna and his ministers. And then immediately the message was sent to Sugriva. Sugriva then took the message to Bhagavan. Oh Bhagavan, a person has come, he is saying that he is a brother of Ravana. What should we do? So then Bhagavan asked Sugriva, dear friend, what do you think we should do? So then Sugriva says, O Lord, Jani na jai nishachara maya, kama rupa ki karan aya. See, these nishacharas, these demons, we really don't know actually what form they have, because they have this power. They can take any form. With what intention they have come, that also we don't know. So therefore we cannot trust them. So, according to my opinion, we should just imprison them. This is what we have to do. We should tie them and imprison them, because we can't trust them. It is possible that they have come to take away all the secrets about us. Okay, what did Bhagavan say? Sakha, niti tu mani ki vichar. Yes, my dear friend, what you are saying is right. But I have taken a vow. What is that vow? Mama Sharanagati Bhayahari. I have taken a vow that anyone who surrenders unto me, takes refuge in me, I will make them fearless. This vow I have taken. So there is a similar verse in Valmiki Ramayana also. Sakrudeva prapannaya tavasmiti chayachate abhayam sarva bhutebhyo dadami tat vratam mama. This is my vratam, my vow. What is that? Sakradeva, even once, if a person says, Tava aham asmi, O Lord, I am yours. Even if once if a person says, Bhagavan says, I will give him abhayam, total refuge. Tadami etat vratam mama. This is my vow. The same thing is mentioned. So Bhagavan says, this vow I have taken. Anyone who takes refuge in me, surrenders unto me, comes to me, I will not forsake that person. So therefore, let him come. This is the point. And when Bhagavan spoke these words, Suni Prabhu Bhajana Harsha Hanumana, Hanuman who was sitting there, he was extremely happy. Why was Hanumanji happy? Because he knew who Vibhishana was. So there is a beautiful episode in Sundarkand. How Hanumanji meets Vibhishana. That's also a beautiful episode. So Hanumanji, after entering Lanka, he was searching for Sita Mata. He searched everywhere, including the palace of Ravana, but he could not find Sita Mata. There are times when Hanumanji also gets into depression, okay? There are times when he fails and he is totally helpless because you can't ask anyone. You are a spy in a foreign land. So you can't take help from anyone. Whom to ask? He searched everywhere. He could not find. You know what he does whenever he is helpless? Remember Bhagavan's name. There are so many instances where he is totally helpless and then something happens and the path is clear. So this happens not only in life of Hanuman, it actually happens in our life also. Whenever you are totally helpless, you just remember the Lord. Bhagavan, save me. Karpanya doshopahata svabhava pritchami tvam dharma sammodha cheta yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhi tanmi shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Which verse? Which text? Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 7. This is a verse of surrender. You should by heart it, okay? So when somebody asked Akhandanji Maharaj, a great saint, so that Akhandanji Maharaj said, whenever you are in trouble, you don't know the solution, you don't know what to do, at that time, chant this verse. This was a verse which was a turning point in Bhagavad Gita. So in the first chapter, Arjuna is the teacher. Arjuna is lecturing Krishna. That is first chapter. And Krishna is silent. Most of us are in first chapter only. And that is why we are in Vishada. What is the name of the first chapter? Arjuna Vishada Yoga. We are talking, chatting. Mind is constantly chattering, noisy mind. Noisy mind means what? I know everything. It's got noisy mind. There is no surrender there. So what is the end result of first chapter? Arjuna collapsing on the chariot. There is no surrender, there is only arrogance. Arrogance that I know everything. End result is complete sorrow, dejection. In the second chapter, Arjuna continues in that state, and finally he understands that there is some problem with me, my understanding. That's the time when he surrenders unto Bhagavan. I'm totally confused. Dharma sammudha cheta. I'm totally confused regarding what I should do. What is my dharma? Remember, who is confused? Archer number one, warrior number one, the best. He is confused. Then what to talk of us? Highly efficient, successful in his career. He says, Bhagavan, I am not even able to stand. Not even able to hold the bow. So therefore I completely surrender unto you. Please guide me. It is from here that transition begins. Till then Bhagavan was silent. It is after this verse of surrender Bhagavan starts speaking. Bhagavad Gita starts with, this turning point. How does Bhagavan starts Bhagavad Gita? Ashochanan vachojastvam pragyavadascha bhashase gataso nagatasonscha nanusochanti pandita. Arjuna, wise people don't grieve. The sign of wisdom is peace, cheerfulness. The very fact that you are collapsing, highly disturbed, that itself shows that your thinking is wrong. Prahasan Nivaitisa. Bhagavan was smiling. Arjuna is crying and weeping, and Bhagavan was smiling. So what is the sign of wisdom? Peace, joy. What is the sign of ignorance? Disturbance, stress, worry, anxiety, tension. So the point is this. This verse is a verse of surrender. So in our life also, whenever we have trouble, chant this verse. Bhagavan, please guide me. And then something will happen. Miraculously we will be guided. How we will be guided? Leave it to Him. Because this is the promise of the Lord. What is the promise? Name bhakta pranashyati. My devotee shall never perish. Anyone who turns to me, seeks my help, I am always there. Then why is that there is so much of sorrow in this world? There is so much of sorrow because we don't turn to Him. When we don't turn to Him, then you cannot blame the Lord. Because Lord is very clear. If you seek my help, I am available. But if you don't seek my help, I will not barge myself into your life. I am a very democratic person. I will knock the door. But if you don't open the door, I will not barge in. Bhagavan is like sunlight, Sunlight is ever there, waiting outside. But if I am suffering inside the dark room, who has to be blamed? I have to be blamed. I keep my doors closed, windows closed, and then I say darkness, darkness. That sun is not giving light to me. Sun is waiting. In the same way, Bhagavan is ever there, ever alert, ever with us, paying attention to us, truly loving us, ever ready to help us. But then the first move should be from our side. What should be the move? The move of surrender, seeking help. Bhagavan, please guide me. Then something will happen. Manchitta sarvadurgani mat prasadat tarishyasi. By my grace, Arjuna, you shall overcome all difficulties. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, this is repeated again and again. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam praja aham tva sarvapapebhyo moksheshyami ma shucha. for you. Whatever you need, I will give you. You need knowledge, I will give you that. You need wealth, I will give you. You need resources, that will also come. You need abilities and talents, that also will be provided. Whatever you need, I will supply. But what is the condition? Ananyas chintayanto ma ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktana yogakshemam vahāmya. I will take care of the yoga and kshema of my devotee. But what is the condition? Condition is always there. Ananyas chintayanto ma. Those who think of me, meditate upon me. Yes. And those devotees are mine. It is my responsibility to take care of them. So, coming back, Hanumanji was completely lost in Lanka. He did not know where to search for Sita Mata. He searched all possible places, was not able to find. He said, Bhagavan, you only have to show me the path. It is your work, you have to do. And suddenly his eyes fall upon a palace. A beautiful palace, a temple-like palace. All auspicious marks were there in front of that palace. Bhagavan's bow and arrow was drawn. Tulsi plant was seen in front of that palace. They're all auspicious marks. And suddenly Hanuman thought, in this Lanka is a materialistic place where there was absolutely no spirituality. In such a Lanka, how come a temple-like structure where all atheists are saying? Again he had a doubt. Is it that these Rakshasas are playing some trick upon me? Because you can't trust. So again he was in trouble. Again he prayed, Bhagavan, save me. At that time, it was Brahma Muhurt, early morning, maybe 3:34. He hears Ram, Ram, Ram inside that palace. So actually, at that time, Vibhishana had just woken up. And how did he wake up? Chanting Bhagavan's name. And the moment Hanumanji heard this, somebody chanting the name of the Lord in the early morning, what does it mean? Is definitely a devotee of God. Otherwise, this will never happen. When you are waking up, chanting the name of the Lord, know for sure that person is a devotee. Immediately Hanumanji said, I will forcefully introduce myself to this person. Who is this? In Lanka, chanting Bhagavan's name. He must definitely be a great devotee. Because in such an environment, in a materialistic environment, being a spiritual person is very difficult. You are literally swimming against the current. Not easy. In a spiritual environment, being spiritual is very easy. But in a non-spiritual environment, amazing. So he is still keeping that fire of devotion glowing. Indeed, he must be a great devotee. So then Hanumanji takes the form of a Brahmana. And then he knocks the door, presents himself in front of Vibhishana. And it is said there, Vibhishana, the moment he saw, Hanumanji was in the form of a Brahmana, a holy person. And Vibhishana said, who are you? And Vibhishana rightly makes the guess. He says, the very fact that in your presence my heart is getting filled with devotion for God shows that you are not an ordinary person. You are not an ordinary Brahmana. Either you are Bhagavan himself or you are some great devotee of God. He made that guess, perfectly right. Because the very fact that in your presence my heart is getting filled with devotion shows that you are not an ordinary person. And it is true. If a disturbed person comes to you, what will you experience? Disturbance. Yes or no? If a very funny kind of person, cracking jokes and all that, comes in front of you, what do you feel? You'll also feel like laughing, joking. If a peaceful person comes, you feel peaceful. If a person filled with devotion comes to you, what happens? Yes. So then Vibhishana says, you are not an ordinary person, tell me who you are. At that time, Hanumanji starts glorifying Bhagavan Ramchandraji and say that I am a mere servant of Bhagavan. And then satsang happened. Both of them, they swim in the bliss of devotion with tears and horripilation and all that. And one said, noble emotions, divine emotions, settle down. Vibhishana says, Hanuman, do you know how I am staying in Lanka? I am staying in Lanka like the tongue staying amidst the teeth. That's exactly. You see, what a beautiful comparison. That tongue is a very tender. The teeth, very many times, they bite the tongue. Tongue cannot do anything. It has to silently endure. So in that way, I am staying here. Now, there is a very interesting incident in the life of Socrates. Socrates was lying down on the deathbed. All his followers, disciples, they were around. So somebody asked, O Guru, O teacher, what is your parting advice? I hope you know he was poisoned, Socrates. What is your parting advice? So Socrates just stuck his tongue out. This is my advice. They did not understand. O Guru, please make it clear. And Socrates said, be like this tongue. Don't be like the tooth. Harsh, stubborn, rough, unyielding. No. Be like the tongue. Very tender, soft, humble, obedient. You see, in the beginning, tongue alone was. In the end, tongue alone will be. So be like tongue. This was his parting advice. So, Vibhishana says, Hanuman, I am staying like the tongue. I am such a, inferior being born in a Rakshasa family. Will Bhagavan be ever gracious to me? Because when I look at myself, a person who is born in a tamasic family, as a demon, as a Rakshasa, when I look at myself, I find that I don't deserve Bhagavan's grace. But when I look at what is happening to me, I feel that Bhagavan's grace is there. Otherwise, why should you come to me in my life? Binu Hari Krupa Milahi Nahi Sakta. Without Bhagavan's grace, you will never come across a saintly person in your life. In Lanka, I never came to you. You forced yourself into my life. Forcefully introduced yourself to me. That shows that Bhagavan's grace is there. But when I look at myself, I absolutely don't deserve grace. Because I have no devotion. I have no qualification. So is Bhagavan's grace upon me? Will that Bhagavan bless me? You know what Hanumanji said? Hanumanji said, look at me. I am a monkey. Monkey is considered to be inferior to even Rakshasas. Because monkeys are the food for Rakshasas. Look at me. Bhagavan is infinitely compassionate. The only thing he asks for you is surrender. Just turn to him. Bow down to him. That's all what he needs. Who you are, he doesn't see. He just sees this. Look at me. I'm a monkey. The most inauspicious, the most restless being. But even then, Bhagavan has blessed me so much. And while he spoke, Hanumanji's eyes became filled with tears. So this was the conversation that had happened. And after that, Vibhishana guides Hanumanji where Sita Mata is, Ashoka Vatika, etc. So this, so when Bhagavan said this, anyone who surrenders unto me, I will protect him. This is my vow. So Hanumanji was very happy. Suni Prabhu Bhajan Harash Hanumana Sharanagata Vachal Bhagavana. What is the nature of Bhagavan? He is Sharanagata Vatsala. Must have heard this term, Sharanagata Vatsala or Bhakta Vatsala. This is a beautiful term actually. You know what is Vatsala? Vatsa means a calf. Cow's baby cow is called Vatsala. Have you ever seen the mother cow after delivering the baby, what she does? In the village it's a very common scene, The children who are grown up in cities, they don't know all of this. In Karnataka, once it happened in the class, the teacher asked the child, where does the milk come from? The child said, Nandini. Nandini is the packet, over there it is written Nandini. The name of that brand is called Nandini. So the child said Nandini. It is not a joke, it's a real. But nowadays the children don't know what is coming from where. So in the village and all you have this scene, the cow is delivering the baby and that calf is covered with that liquid, and then this mother cow licks and licks and licks and cleans the baby. So that example is the inspiration to coin this word. Bhagavan is Sharanagata Vatsala. For a person who has surrendered to Bhagavan becomes like that mother cow, licking the filth of that child, baby. Baby does nothing, it is just there, surrendered to mother, doing nothing. Who does everything? Mother cow does everything. Licks the baby clean. In the same way, a person who surrenders unto Bhagavan, it is Bhagavan's responsibility to free his devotee from all weaknesses, all negativities, all vices. Tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagara bhavami nachiyat partha mai aveshita chetasa. Those people who have fixed their mind upon me, I become the samudharta, uplifter. From what? Mrityu samsara sagarat. This world is called Mrityu samsara sagar. The ocean of samsara, of transmigration, characterized by death. The ultimate reality of this world is death. I lift that being, that devotee, who has fixed his mind upon me, surrendered unto me. So how does Bhagavan do? Remaining with him. He guides the devotee. What is right, what is wrong. Inspires the devotee in doing the right thing. Punishes the devotee when he is tempted to do the wrong thing. The more and more you become close to Bhagavan, the more and more the punishment also becomes severe. It is true with worldly relationship also, isn't it? The child of your neighbor is doing some mischief, you will not do anything. But your own child, you do. Close you are, the more you get involved in that relationship. My child should not do anything wrong. I cannot accept. I will do everything to prevent my child from walking the wrong path. In the same way, as this relationship develops, the relationship with God, Bhagavan starts interfering into every aspect in life. The moment you even think something wrong, there is an intense pain. As far as a criminal is concerned, who is totally cut off from God, he will not even know it. Yesterday I was talking of that voice of conscience, isn't it? When you do something wrong, guilt is there. The guilt is intense. And the intensity is directly proportional to how close you are to God. The intensity of pain is directly proportional to the purity of your mind. An impure mind doesn't feel that pain. It's a gross mind. As the mind becomes purer, as you become closer to God, God starts guiding you. When you are doing the right thing, there is a joy. When you are doing wrong thing, there is intense pain, intense disturbance. So the state of the mind becomes a guidance from God. If you are disturbed, you are doing something wrong. Generally, what is our analysis? If I am disturbed, somebody has to be blamed. If I am disturbed, somebody has to be held responsible. That is our philosophy. Because I am the only right person in this wrong world. For a devotee, it's just the ulta. World is perfect. If I am disturbed, I am wrong. Because that disturbance is a pain. The pain is coming from God. And God is giving me this pain because I am thinking something wrong. You see? All the negative emotions are associated with pain. Anger will lead to pain. Jealousy is painful. Hatred is painful. Arrogance is painful. So the moment the devotee goes to the wrong track, as he is thinking, forget about talking or doing something. That's why Vishnu Bhagavan has got a gada. What are the four things? Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Shankha is the call to walk the path of righteousness, dharma. From within he will inspire you to walk the path of dharma. That is conch, clarion call. And if you walk the right path, lotus, Padma. Lotus means perfection. Lotus means liberation. Lotus means happiness, auspiciousness. If you're walking the path, if you're a good child, wonderful. Just like dog trainers they give. Pappu, sit! One biscuit is given. Pappu, understand? Yeah, I have done the right thing. Pappu, stand! One more. Something they give. Shake hand. So just like that, Bhagavan also does. When you are walking the right path, he gives a biscuit. What is that biscuit? The joy of the heart. Yes. There is a joy. Remember, you cannot duplicate this joy. It has to come from him. Peace, etc. is something which you cannot purchase. You cannot artificially create. If it is there, it is there. If it is not there, it is not there. And where it is coming from? Ananda Swarupa Bhagavan. To the extent you are good, to that extent an Ananda, intensity, it comes in greater intensity. And to the extent you are walking away, going astray from the path, Bhagavan's Gada is there. Gada means what? Mace. Correct. And if the fellow is too incorrectible, then the chakra is there. A fellow is eliminated. Bhagavan gives a lot of opportunities. If the fellow doesn't listen, like Duryodhana, etc. Kamsa, Duryodhana, Hiranyakashipu, that is chakra. Shankha chakra kadabha. So this is how Bhagavan guides us. So a devotee, one part of the mind is always inside. That's why if you see Lord Shiva, it is half closed. Why is the eyes half closed? Half of the attention is inside, half of the attention is outside. Why attention inside is necessary? Yes. What kind of thoughts I am entertaining? If it is some negative thought, correct it. Negative thought will always come as pain. Adharmic thoughts always is associated with pain. So the moment the mind is disturbed, a devotee becomes alert. Bhagavan is speaking something. I have to listen. My first responsibility in this world is to listen to him. Never ignore him. That voice is very, very precious, very divine. Then I correct myself. Bhagavan becomes happy, all the sorrow is gone. So therefore, even the sorrows become a stepping stone to spiritual progress. You see? Even the sorrow. You don't try to escape from sorrow. How do we try to escape from sorrow? Boredom, loneliness, misery. How do we try to escape? Social media, club, pub, movies, chit chat, gossip. We try to escape all this. That's an absolutely wrong way of escape. The best way is confront it. Try to understand why that negative emotion is there. There is a reason. There is a cause-effect relationship. Every disturbance is an effect. There is a cause for this disturbance. Try to understand the cause. God is speaking to me. Let me not ignore him. Ignoring the voice is disrespecting God. Disrespecting God deserves punishment. What is the punishment? Suffering in the world outside. So this is what happens in a devotee's life. He is ever alert. His first priority is this. My relationship with God should improve day by day. The most important relationship in this world is my relationship with my Creator. Because He is there all the time. This birth, next birth, every birth. He is the one who is keeping me alive. He is the one who is ever with me. He is ever paying attention to me. He is ever listening to me. He is ever guiding me. So therefore my greatest responsibility is to be a good child of the Lord. To such a person, Bhagavan becomes Sharanagata Vatsala. Like how that mother cow cleans that baby, feeds that baby, protects that baby. In the same way you will find Bhagavan protecting us. So then what happened? Yes. So Hanumanji was very happy when he heard Bhagavan. So then Bhagavan says, Koti Vipra badalaga hi jagu, Yahu ain Sharanat tajam nahi tahu. A person might have killed innumerable holy people. It's the greatest sin. To kill a holy man is a very terrible sin. He might have killed crores of them, but if he comes to me, surrenders unto me, with a repentant heart, I will never abandon him. Sarmukh hoi jeev mohi jabahi, janma koti aghanase tabahi. The moment a person turns to me, the sins committed in crores of births, all those sins are burned into ashes. The moment a person turns to me, the same, all these are, actually you can see in Bhagavad Gita. What is that verse? Apichet suduracharah bhajate mamananyabha sadhureva samantavyah Shipram Samyak Vyavasito hi saha Shipram bhavati dharmatma Shashvachantim nigacchati Kaunteya pratijanehi Name bhakta pranashyati. Apichet sudurachara, rank sinner, is number one, rank number one in committing all kinds of sins. Even if he turns to me, consider him to be a dharmatma, because he has taken the right decision in his life. Very soon, Kshipram, he becomes an embodiment of goodness. Arjuna, know for certain, my devotee shall never perish. So that is what he said here. Such a rank sinner, the moment he turns to me, all his sins are burned into ashes. But Sugriva, let me tell you one thing. What is that? Papavantakara sahaja subhavo bhajana murte bhavana kao. A sinner, his natural tendency is not to turn to God. That's a very important statement. Sometimes mind is in rajasic mood, tamasic mood. We don't feel like doing any devotional practices. It is very, very true. Sinners generally don't have the tendency to go towards God. Right? So we have to be very careful. And we are fortunate also. The very fact that you are all coming to these classes, it shows that Bhagavan's grace is with. Otherwise you will not even feel like sitting here. From within, there is a resistance. Just like a rusted iron is not attracted to magnet. A pure iron is easily attracted. In the same way, an impure mind is never attracted to spirituality. A pure mind automatically is attracted. So these are all Mahamantras. So the moment you are not feeling attracted to your spiritual practice, understand mind is either in Rajas or in Tamas. It is not in Sattva. So what has to be done? Make it into Sattva. More of it we will see tomorrow. Jaya Jaya Rama Janaki Rama रघुकुलभूषण राजा राम जय जय राम जानकी राम तापसरंजन तारक नामा दानव भंजन कोदंड रामा जय जय राम जानकी राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जानकी रामा श्री रघुरामा श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जानकी राम जानकी राम ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे